Hey guys, welcome back to our brand new German playthrough. Again, I'm hoping that we can get ready to do what I was about to do before my game went to crap, basically, without me deleting the game itself. But what do I have planned for today? Well, simply put, military forces. Build military forces. That's all we can do right now. I mean, this episode's gonna be a little bit dry in the sense that there's going to be no combat working around. We're just going to build up here and go from there. I appreciate you guys' feedback, and this is what I will say about it, okay? I am aware of all the things that you mentioned, okay? Particularly around the supply issue and the truck issue and whatnot. I understand that. I know all that, okay? I also know that tanks are not required. I understand all that. I did massive research on how the AI works. However, I still like to make custom tanks and planes, so that's kind of why I'm still producing tanks, because I like to actually make the tanks. I love that part of the DLC, so that is the only reason I produce tanks. As far as the truck situation goes, I am aware of that as well. The reason I did not switch the depots to trucks is because I don't want to do it until we have a couple thousand in stockpile. That's one of the things I actually taught my brother that he didn't know about. I actually discovered that by myself on accident. But I do appreciate all the feedback, guys. I appreciate it very much. It gives me something to talk to you guys about. If you have any ideas or any more advice, feel free. I enjoy having conversations with you guys in the comments. It's one of the best parts of the job, in my opinion. So keep them coming, please. And it's not only because of the algorithm, it's also because I simply enjoy it too. So please keep the comments coming, because I enjoy engaging with you guys on a personal level. As far as I'm concerned, you guys are my friends, even though a lot of you I don't know at this point. At the start of the channel, maybe I knew most of you, but not anymore. But I still love you guys and see you guys as friends. So again, please purposely comment, even if it is just to talk to me, because I love that part of the job, guys. Absolutely love it. Even negative guys, I'll sit and talk to them. It doesn't matter. That's what separates me from a lot of people on YouTube. I actually care about you guys, and I love you guys very much, and I enjoy talking to you. But enough of that, of the housekeeping. Let's get into the game here. On the subscribers' advice, even before you guys drop that comment about how you focus on the factories, yes, I have now moved everything up, and they are my priority. Now, I did this morning when I got onto the game when my internet was still down, okay? The reason why I did that is so the fact that I knew at the beginning I wasn't going to use trucks on the depots, okay? So I wanted to have the connections as high as possible before we did anything, okay? Now we're going to focus on factories and finish out the supplies. Then it's going to go down in the factories and about, give or take, 12 ports that I put in the Dutch Indies, because I figured they're way out in the ocean. It'd be a perfect place to put a bunch of naval ports. So that's what I did. I'm really excited for these research facilities though, guys. I want to get these nuclear and naval facilities going here. See, now we're going to start to crank out the factories, because we got 15 and 15 factories. We got 3 on the other one. So our construction is going to be a lot faster than it was before, eventually. But I really wanted to get the proper supply connections, like I said before, because I knew we weren't going to use the trucks until later. What are we doing for technology here? Well, first, we have infantry to allocate. Just one? I doubt that. Hang on. I'm gonna go with 5. We'll go with 5 divisions at a time. They're gonna have to catch up on equipment. Not enough equipment to train. Okay. Well, we'll just let them do that then. For the time being, though, I'm gonna slowly add people to this army here. Okay, rubber processing. Alright, fantastic. Okay. So at that point now, this is gonna take a year to get 1939 stuff. So I'm just gonna get the mining kind of thing, the excavation tech. You know what? You know what, guys? What we're gonna do is we're gonna put off the supply thing entirely, okay? And then I'm also gonna get rid of these divisions that aren't training whatsoever. I think 2 would actually be okay to start with. So we'll get, 3 divisions, 2 divisions training at one time. I think that's a good start. Can we get to at least 4 with no issues here? We probably could, but I'm doing it the wrong way here. Let's try 5. How are we doing? Okay, yeah. The problem is that we're short on anti-tank. That's what the issue is there. Okay? It's not artillery. It's not nothing else. It's basically anti-tank. So, I'm actually going to knock out the tank production here because one of you said just don't make tanks. It's not needed. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 factories on anti-tank so we can start to crank these out a bit more. Alright, let's let the game do its thing. Also, before I forget, I almost did forget. I want to push these facilities, okay, right after the construction factories, okay? We're gonna get the facilities done before we get anything else done here. Because the dude's right, the supplies isn't as pressing, especially now, okay? So, the supplies are gonna get finished up, but I'm gonna prioritize the facilities after the construction factories here. Just kind of try to get these facilities cranking research points as quick as possible. And then what I'll do is I will actually push the ports and stuff past as well. Maybe. You know what? Screw this. I'm not messing with this one, guys. And we're just gonna leave it the way it is. But at least we'll be getting the facilities done faster. Because that was the primary goal. Okay, national focus. What do we want to do in regards to that? I want to do the army thing for a little bit. And we'll try to get some free military factories through the army section, Air Force, and all that. Concentrated industry too. That'll help with our production. And we also got construction too. So that's going to help in those ways. No doubt. Primary focus of this video, guys, right now is to build ourselves up. And my plan is to be absolutely over prepared for the invasion of France, England, that kind of thing. I want to build a force that the Allies have never seen before. And that means we're going to have to recruit a lot of troops. But at the same time, we got to wait until we get the stuff cranking enough to be able to kind of mass recruit. Because until we get to that point, it's going to be hard to kind of keep the recruitment going, if that makes sense. That's kind of why I kind of started small. I was hoping that would be, enough. 4 divisions probably might be a bit much because we're not making a whole bunch of anti-tank right now. But we are making about almost 2.5 per day. Actually, I say almost because it's a little over. I would say it's more towards 3 per day, but we got to get this anti-tank shortage under control here. We got 200 pieces of artillery and minus 184 anti-tank. That's primarily what's limiting our recruitment right now, is the anti-tank shortage. Actually, let's go with the breakthrough on the tank designer here. We'll go with the Prussian legacy here. Oh yeah, our civilian factories are really starting to get cranked out here. Probably should build some more, but we'll get some more construction factories by annexing Austria and stuff like that too. So paratroopers, that's exactly what we needed, because now I'm going to start to manufacture the transport plane as soon as we get what is it called? One factory here. I am going to definitely grab this real quick because that's going to help us with our research. It's a little bit ahead, but we get some kind of buffer from it, so I think it's going to be a little worth it there. Prussian legacy, there we go. And I'm gonna grab the military factory we can get from here. Okay guys, and just out of curiosity, what do these things do? Gain per resource 10%. Okay. Energy factory requirement decreased by 7. Ooh, so these could be nice, actually. We're just gonna build a couple of them, I think. No. I'm gonna put these things right where we see coal. That would actually be pretty appetizing, if you will. And the resources that are harder to come by, I'm gonna stick these in here. I think that's enough, guys. Seriously. We need to get through this queue for a little bit. But I do want to put a couple of these where we have coal, because that would definitely help. No question about it. Hopefully they don't take that long to build either. It's almost 1938, so I gotta get the 1938 support weapons, all that fun stuff. You know what I noticed is the Japanese actually get bicycle battalions, etc. And I'm actually surprised, even though we're doing the national focus for essentially the military motorcycle. It's interesting because the Germans never get that. I'm surprised that they don't have, motorcycle troops. The Japanese have freaking bicycle troops. I don't know if you guys ever thought of it like that, but alright, we got a military factory. That'll be great. I think what I'm gonna do though now is try and start to manufacture trucks on a small level, because we will need them eventually. We have 500 something trucks in stockpile right now. I'm probably gonna put these right underneath the support equipment here, and we're gonna put a couple factories on trucks from now on, and then I'll start building up the air forces as well. Okay, we got 5 divisions here added to the German army. Actually 2, but it will Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I see what's going on. It's cause I never deleted the whole thing, and so the one is, ahead of the others, which is whatever, I guess. It's starting to do 3 anti-tank per day, almost 4, which is actually pretty good. We're still short, not anymore. I thought we were short guns and support equipment, but nope. They fixed that right quick. So now we got 12 for him. Okay, now we got 9 factories working on the 1 naval facility. So we're starting to work on the facilities right now, which is really good. Just gotta crank these out, get some military factories going again, and I'm again going to place them on trucks so that we can manufacture those faster, even more so. And we have plenty of airplanes at this point. I'd like to eventually get those up to 2 per day at the very least, but I think we really do need to focus on the trucks being made and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna try and crank out as many trucks as possible. Okay, I'm gonna research a strategic bomber body so that we can start to crank out the stuff that's gonna carry the nukes, because we're gonna try and win the nuclear arms race, and we're gonna use this against allies, maybe even Soviets. Let's get production efficiency cap. I like that. I really like that for the Mauser. That's gonna allow us to produce more of them. We also need to get some anti-tank upgrades too. Give ourselves some some more soft attack and breakthrough and hard attack and whatnot. You don't necessarily need hard attack for the AI, but it is nice to have though. Better to have it and not need it than not have it and actually need it. Okay, now we're starting to focus primarily on the research facilities, which is good. Actually, yeah, let's get the requirements needed for the annex of Austria to be a little bit lower. We also want to get our customer goods as low as possible, so we'll go with that. We'll sell them fighters because we're making enough that it doesn't really matter. And now we got 13 factories working on one of the facilities, which is great, just because we decreased the consumer goods a little bit. Which reminds me, is there anybody here that can do that even more? Okay, this gets rid of 5% stability. However, I'm gonna counter that, and the way we're gonna counter that is I'm going to... No! Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to increase the trade with Denmark, but I canceled it. Dang it. Not what I planned to do. And that sucks. I'm sure you guys have had moments like that too. Alright, that'll give us a free military factory. There we go. Now where are we going to put this free military factory? I'm going to go with the reliability for the light aircraft. I think that's essential right now. I'm going to get some more trucks cranking here. We're doing about one per day, which is actually quite well for what it's at right now. But I think we're gonna put 3 factories on trucks, maybe 5. I don't think we'll need much more than that though. I'm also gonna build a spy network as soon as we get ready to invade people, because the war is gonna be a little bit harder than going through the Netherlands and whatnot, because these are bigger and tougher people. So those kind of people we're gonna put a spy network in before we do anything. How are we doing on technology here? That's trade. Technology. Okay. We're about to get level 2 excavation, and in about 16 days we're gonna get a new computing machine. So that should help with our research in regards to that. Okay. It is now 1938, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick these 2 factories on the 1938, well, these 2 research slots on the 1938 stuff. And then I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna start to research the support companies as well, like the maintenance company, all that good stuff there. How much longer until we actually can start to annex like Austria and stuff like that? Okay, so I'm gonna go with recognize the Wehrmacht, alright? And hopefully we'll be able to annex Austria soon. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be right away because it probably won't be. Probably have to recruit some more divisions first, but we're working on that. I like that, plus 5 reliability. Let's get the radio. Do need to catch up in that area. Nice. Almost got one of the naval facilities done here. Okay, more men. It drives me nuts that the other 3 are behind the first 2, but I'll wait until they all come on. There we go. Now we got the total 5 that we needed, so I'm gonna add them to this guy over here yet again. And we are strengthening the German army right now. We got the recognized Wehrmacht, and so let me see. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this, but it's worth taking a look. Okay. Yeah, we need to get more men is what we need to do. So I'm just going to maybe do a filler national focus or something like that. I don't know. Let's promote this guy here. And then we'll make him the field marshal, and he'll command these 2 armies. Although we do need to produce a little bit of tanks, guys. I just realized that because we already do have some panzer divisions with us. How can we do this? try to kinda get some war support going or whatever. I believe that's the naval facility. Yes, it is. So we'll stick that guy in that one, and we should have 2 more coming. Yeah, and one of them is halfway done, and then comes the nuclear facilities. Actually, we're working on the nuclear facilities right now, but it's only 14 factories. So, I mean, it's not going to get done very fast, but that's because we don't have a whole bunch of construction factories as of right now. As we start to annex countries with the free territory, that's going to change. But for right now, we have to kind of just deal with the slow construction a little bit. We could build more, but I kind of want to get through the facilities before we start to build more construction factories. You know, get some of this queue done before putting more construction factories in. Okay, we got Himmler. Alright, that's going to make it so we can get the SS or the intelligence, whatever we choose to do in that regard. We got 800 trucks. Okay, I would like to wait until we get like 2,000 or something, and then we'll start recruiting those types of guys too, I think. Forgot to grab a national focus here, Navy. Well, that will help us in regards to the naval capability. Can always use more submarines, I think, and some convoys being made too, but I think I'm gonna put this first couple in here on submarines. Okay, our second facility is almost done here. Okay, the basic large airframe. Okay, so as soon as we get some free military factories, I'm gonna start to manufacture those. I'm gonna start working on the support battalions here. Let's pull these infantry facilities up past the, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull all the facilities up. Okay, we did that. So now they're just gonna build facility after facility here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put all of these on, you know, here. But let's, I don't know. I say here's what we'll do. We'll get 2 full lines of U-boats being manufactured, because I know I got more ports than I do spaces. And then we'll just put the rest of the ports on convoys and stuff. That's what we'll do. I think that's the best way to go about this. So I think that's how we'll go about it. Maximum speed for the strategic bomber is 5%. Yeah, I'll get as many ports as I can through national focus. Try to fill out that sec port, and then the ports that we get from the Dutch East Indies here, what we'll do, because we got them in the queue to be built. So I think when we build the ports inside the Dutch Indies, that's when we will actually start to produce the convoys. Alright, so let's see here. I do want to upgrade our sub capability, to be perfectly honest. So let's go ahead and upgrade that capability, and then what I'll do is I'll try to wait until we get the 1940 submarine and then just upgrade the crap out of it. I think that's what I'm gonna try to do in that regard. Let's get some anti-tank guns here so we can get some piercing and some heart attack 10%. I think that is a great idea, because with the submarines we definitely want to get this torpedo launcher 3. That's going to help our torpedo attack go up immensely, so I really want to focus on that. But just as a filler, I think we're going to start to fortify the Maginot Line too on our side, so that when we do go to war with France, it's hard for them to break through into Germany. Okay, there goes one of the facilities again. So we gotta choose a scientist to go in there, and we should be working on some naval breakthroughs rather quickly now. I think we're about to get one, actually. And we're starting to crank out also the nuclear facility as well. We're gonna get our first one pretty directly about the same time as we get the last naval facility. So that should give us a leap into the nuclear age before the rest of the people have those as well. And we got more men, which is going to help us later on. But again, I'm gonna wait until we get all 5 in here so that I can just take all 5 and stick them in with the commander and whatnot. So we're just gonna wait a little bit, and we're going to just wait until we get all 5 and allocate all 5 at one time. I do want to see where we're at production wise. We do only have 180 shortage. Now we're short 200, but we are starting to catch up with the anti-tank, which is fantastic because that's gonna make it easier to continue recruiting. Can we get Austria as of right now? Yes, we can. So I'm gonna grab that, and then what we'll do is I'll go back to doing a naval national focus as soon as we grab Austria. Okay, we have almost 2 full armies here, and that is great. That's something we definitely need. I gave ourselves 4 nuclear facilities because I want to kind of take a massive leap in nuclear technology. I want to be able to rapidly research that. Matter of fact, I'm thinking I might even do 2 more. Okay, now let's go to the bottom here and make sure that those facilities are prioritized, okay? Because I really, if we're being honest, okay, I don't think there's anything more important than nuclear research. The faster we can get that, the better, honestly. So I'm really gonna kind of prioritize that. Yeah, we got 6 nuclear facilities going at this point in time. August, kind of too early to be doing that. Yeah, let's just focus on the support companies right now because we still have to get the beginning versions of each one anyway. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say that we want to research this. Honestly, it's gonna take us about a year to get that done, but let's go with the cruiser submarine as well. I do want to make sure that we get way ahead in the not just the scientific research in terms of special projects, but in particularly, I keep saying it, nuclear, guys, nuclear. I want to see what these things will do. I've never used them in the game, and I want to use them in the game and see what these do. If you guys know what they actually do, put them in the comments. I'd like to hear stories if you used them before. But I am excited. That's kind of why I'm pushing it, because I'm like, can we get this done? Can we get this done? And like, I'm like a kid in a candy store trying to get something done here because I'm excited to see what they can do. Okay, I think we will research helicopters, guys, and I'm probably gonna research the helicopter hospital thing. That sounds pretty cool. Yes, it's probably just an attachment, but it just sounds kind of cool to me. I might even do the same thing with the supply companies as well. Okay, we're only short 40 anti-tank, which is great. Problem is, we're probably about to recruit more, so I don't know. Oh, we're about to get the nuclear facilities, guys. This is awesome. Okay, so we'll stick that guy in there working on nuclear stuff, and we should have 5 more coming. Just kind of trying to almost jump ahead way early in terms of nuclear technology. I'm actually surprised we got the nuclear facility done before the naval facility there was done, because that was at the tippy top for the longest time ever. So I don't know. Okay, we got a new facility. We need new scientists for one of the naval facilities. Now we got all of our naval facilities, and we just need at this point the nuclear facilities and the infantry or land doctrine facilities. So that's gonna increase production efficiency. Okay, awesome. Let's take that. And we're about to get Austria momentarily here. What does our nuclear facility look like? Still got some time on it, guys. That's going to take a bit, but we do have one of them, so that is good. And it's only 1938, almost 39. But all honesty, that is okay, because technically you don't get the engineering part of the nuclear part until 1940. But even though we got quite the debuff on this. I'm gonna research this anyways because it's an upgrade for our subs, and I feel like if we can get that, then we definitely can build a submarine that's worth putting out there. That would be fantastic and hilarious if we actually end up making a nuclear submarine, but I doubt that's part of the special projects. I'm just saying that would actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Welcome to the right. Alright, fantastic. Now, I'm gonna take all of this, okay, and some people would convert this, but because of what little we have, guys, I am going to actually disband this. I never use the Austrian units anyways, and I typically convert them, but because we have, well, you see what we actually have. Yeah, we only have 193 anti-tank stockpiles, so if I were to convert that, we will just throw ourselves back into debt, which I don't want to do. But I'll tell you what I am going to do though. We are going to increase the production of fighters substantially at this point, okay? And I'm also going to, you know what, I'm going to get some transport planes being made, because we did get airborne. I did say we were going to do that, but I forgot completely about it. Oh yes, and I want to make a strategic bomber. So you know what? We're going to build one of these, but maybe, honestly, in all honesty, maybe we'll want to hold off on the strategic bomber for now, because maybe what we want to do is get the transport transferring out, okay, being produced, and then maybe what we want to do here is we want to kind of wait until we get our factories that are being built by us to produce the basic frame of the plane that's gonna drop the nuke. Because in all honesty, we got some time until we even come close to doing that. So we might as well do the plane that we actually need instead of building something that we don't need as of right now. Yeah, see, we barely had enough to get Austria. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to the Navy and get some naval ports for free so that we can add them to what we got now. And then we'll take the ports that we're building by ourselves and put them on transports, and then we'll probably put the rest on submarines, because I want to mass produce submarines to the point where Brits can't do nothing about it. I am going to increase our torpedo attack. I think that's going to be nice, so we're going to do that, and we'll see where it takes us. Put this squeeze on them. Yeah, see, now we got some more construction capability. I'm gonna go with the war economy at this point to increase that quite a bit more. Yeah, it costs more coal to do that, but faster construction is what I'm going for. As you can see, we're now doing 4 at a time, but the one only has 4 factories to it. But we got 3 build slots with 15 factories on it, so that was a nice move. 1 per week of the transports. That's actually pretty decent, if we're being brutally honest. That is actually pretty decent. So at this point, I'm gonna allocate what ports we got for free here, which is only about 2 of them. So we'll put 3 of the ports that we're building to this second line of submarines, and then we'll put the rest of them to transports. Capital ships, okay, we're not really doing that. Cruisers only, okay. Mine laying, okay. Submarine visibility, okay. We're gonna go with that because we're really starting to work on the subs here, and the harder they can't see us, we're gonna be in a better position. Adds a naval base, adds coastal defense, blah blah blah. Okay, hold up. I'm trying to really start to make our navy as strong as possible. We need improved radio to get that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with 1. There we go. And we got some more troops that we can allocate to the armies. Now, in this particular case, I am only gonna add the 2 that this guy needs. because he's almost full anyway. And then we'll start on a third army. Okay. Now, once we get this queue down a bit more, I'm going to start to build like fortifications on the Maginot Line and all that jazz. But I want to get through the queue a little bit before we start doing that. Now we're going to start a new army, and then that will be the beginning of that one. Almost 1939 here. So, gotta think about getting the 1939 upgrades. I think what I'm gonna try and do, honestly, is get that MP38 as fast as possible. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Just gonna upgrade the infantry, upgrades, and all that kind of thing. And then once all this other stuff gets done, what I'll do is I'll try to do the production stuff so we don't fall behind on that one. Also, I have to do the engineering as well, but that's not a priority to me. Production and the other stuff is more important to me right now. And we're over halfway done with the other two facilities for nuclear work. We're really starting to crank things out now. Can I get the Sudetenland land right now? Let me see if I can. No, we still need more men. Okay. So I guess what I'll do is I'll try and get organization for the infantry. Okay. Field Hospital 1 is now good to go. So at this point, I'm going to try and make sure that we have some production technologies being researched. In particular, construction. I think that would be not a bad idea. I would have done like machine tools or something, but reality is we have quite the queue here. So I would like to get our construction done as early as possible. We do have a little bit of a debuff here, but that is okay because it's December now, so it's not really all that bad of a debuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that. So we produce support equipment a lot faster there. It's only about 5 or 10%, but definitely help. Yeah, see, now we're way ahead of the recruitment, so we can keep this going. But we're almost doing 7 anti-tank per day, so I'm not surprised at all. This video is going to be a little bit longer, guys, because I know we were just sitting here essentially doing nothing in regards to no warfare. So I'm gonna try and get as much done as possible in this video. Probably gonna cut it off as soon as the 2-hour mark hits, but I do want to get more done in this video, so it's a little bit longer than usual. I usually stop at about an hour, and we're about an hour and 43 minutes right now. Probably stop at 2 hours like I said, just because I do want to get a lot of this done, because it was a fallback series, like in the sense that somehow my old game got deleted. So it's kind of like, if I'm gonna bring you guys back this far, I'm like, I want to get stuff done so we can bring it forward a little more, so you guys aren't like feeling like we started completely, which we did, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Just trying to play a little bit longer so we can get through this a bit more. Yeah, now we're way ahead of the recruitment, which is kind of funny. Before we were struggling to keep up with it, but not anymore. Okay, alright. Now, what do we got going on here? Okay, we could get production output by 7%. I'm actually really considering that, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, let's get that. That sounds nice. Okay, so that was a 7% increase. Let's take a look at what that actually did. We go down. Oh, that's kind of crazy. It substantially increased it from what I can tell. Okay. Yeah, we're about to get another one of these nuclear facilities here, which is gonna be fantastic. We might be going a little overboard with these, but like I said, guys, I really want to try out these nuclear weapons within the range of 1940. So that's kind of why I'm doing this, because I know the more of a particular type of research facility you have, the faster your points build up, which means the faster you research nuclear technologies or whatever technologies that facility is attached to. Okay, so now we have, we're gonna go with armaments here. That's how we're gonna do the cruise submarine, and that is going to give them, I guess, yeah, it's like some kind of deck gun or something. Which deck guns are pretty cool. If you ever use them in the U-boat game, they're pretty cool. I love doing that. It's been a while since we played the U-boat on the channel, but maybe I'll bring it back someday. I don't play it very often because a lot of times it takes hours just to complete a mission and all that kind of stuff. So I don't play it very often because it doesn't generate me a lot of views like Hearts of Iron or War Thunder does, because that's quick compared to U-boat. I enjoy playing U-boat. It's one of my favorite games. It's just for YouTube, it's like, I feel bad because sometimes you guys have to wait hours comparatively. I mean, you guys don't wait hours because I murder the videos. I really do. But it's just, sometimes it takes hours just to find something to blow up for you guys. And it's just kind of like, it feels like more like work than it feels like playing a game for you guys. Now, I understand that YouTube is almost essentially became my work. I do understand that. Okay, there's no question about it. To me, I view this as work. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to go around for hours just looking for something to blow up for you guys and then, you know, cut into that moment so that you guys, you know, not being bored and everything. But that's the struggle I have with U-boat is, you know, it's like I don't want you guys to be bored. And unfortunately, U-boat takes a very long time to play, but I do love the game. It's a fantastic game, and I know that's kind of off the subject of, you know, Hearts of Iron right now, but in all honesty, you know, it's still games and whatnot, and I do have quite a few videos on U-boat in all honesty. So let's get the advanced machine tools. Okay, we got a new facility, and it doesn't matter which one we put in here. Do we still have the other one to build? Yes, we do, but it's gonna be done pretty directly. Okay, is it possible, because I know we did add some military to our forces. I'm not sure if it is possible yet, but I want to find out if we can get the Sudetenland at the very least. No, we cannot. How close are we to doing that though? Okay, we have 516,000 in the field right now. Okay, so we got like 200,000 more troops to go. I'll see where it's at when these other guys come off the recruitment queue, if you want to call it that. Lessons the Great War. Right. Alright, now let's issue them a general, and we're going to stick them to be with field marshal as well. Okay, we got more men at the moment, but let's wait until we got all 5, and then I'll go see what kind of manpower we got in there. Coming close to the end of the episode here, but I'll try to get as much done here before we hit the 2-hour mark. Probably try to at least get this one nuclear facility done before we hit the 2-hour mark. And even if it doesn't get done before the 2-hour mark, I will end the episode after it's built. But I'm assuming that it's going to get done before the 2-hour mark, so we should be fine in regards to that. More torpedo attack. Heck yeah. Alright, now, yeah, that was done before the 2-hour mark. Barely, pretty much. So I guess what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna allocate these divisions to this guy, and then we're going to get the scientists inside the respective facility, and then we're going to get our technology, and then I'll say my greetings, goodbyes, that kind of thing. Is there anything that we can do in terms of 1939 in terms of engineering? No, it looks to be like relatively all 40 stuff. So I'm actually gonna get the 1939 like rubber and oil stuff now. Alright guys, I'll see you guys next time, and God bless. Thank you for, you know, the 1,540 something that subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it. I love you guys so much. And again, don't forget to comment and subscribe, because games. You know, to me, that's the best part of the job, is having a conversation with you guys. Not that I don't enjoy playing games with you guys, but for me, the best part is sitting and talking to you guys. So I really appreciate the guys that leave comments.